All right, listen, let's talk about Manchester United. Christian Eriksen. Did I hear yesterday, Drive Time Dan, who works on the Drive Show, funnily enough, you were working with him this week, weren't you?
I was.
Brentford fan, and he was saying Christian Eriksen owes Brentford, and that's why he shouldn't have gone to Manchester United. I honestly couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, that to me is madness. He's basically made a celebrity guest appearance at the end of the season for Brentford.
Yeah.
He's been there for a couple of months as a favour, basically, to Thomas Frank. This is a player who should be nowhere near Brentford. Is there a better player ever in the history of Brentford than Christian Eriksen? I don't think there is. He's the best player they've ever had.
Stephen Hunt? J-Tab?
Come on! Why are you ridiculing these players?
I'm not.
You
Good
are.
friends of mine.
Well,
they're good players.
Well, they were good
They're
friends
legends. Brentford. Ivan Toney, you can question, he's on his way. But no, look, Christian Eriksen is a different level.
Yeah.
And I said this before when he signed, I think he was offered an 18-month contract. I think he turned that down, wanted a 6-month contract. I believe. I don't know if I'm right there, but I believe that's what happened. And that's probably the reason. He just wanted to prove that he can handle the level after what happened to him. And let's get it right. It was Ten Hag that obviously allowed him to train at Ajax to get his fitness back. So he's obviously got a relationship with Ten Hag. Maybe this was planned all along, who knows? But this is a good signing for me, for Manchester United. I think it'll be tough to put him and Fernandes in the same team, I believe, but to have competition now for positions, I think he'll do really well. He'll be a great squad player. Whether he plays them all, I don't know, but what do we need in the Premier League? You need squad depth.
I'm intrigued by Bruno Fernandes, because his numbers were actually quite good. People say he didn't have a good season last season, but his numbers were good. So if you just go on the stats, and a lot of people do, and they will be looked at by the analysts at Manchester United, then he's in the starting 11. But you're right. Do Eriksen and Fernandes go? Love to get some views from United fans on that. But just going back to the Brentford thing, I mean, they should be considering a statue, seriously. Never mind him owing Brentford. Brentford owe him. So I think Brentford fans need to just remember where they've come from, where they're at, and thank their lucky stars. They had Christian Eriksen for a few months to keep them in the Premier League. I saw his first game, actually, at Norwich, and he made such a difference. They were losing non-stop before that. They were hurtling down the table.
They were on their way down.
Absolutely, and he has completely saved them. So, seriously, Brentford fans, if you could think of a better player that you've ever had in your history, then fine, let us know. We may have missed one, but I can't think of one. Martinez coming. Alex Cook told us that was close, so that reinforces at centre-back. We asked a question midweek about the future of Harry Maguire. I'm still a Maguire fan. I think he needs a decent centre-half alongside him. People might say that Varane is that, but Varane looks like a busted flush to me. So I think of the two, Varane is more likely to miss out than Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I think so. But again, it's competition now. Lisandro Martinez coming in, great centre-half, worked with Ten Hag before, so he knows what he's bringing to the football club. I agree with you. I still like Harry Maguire. He's had a bad season. Okay, like that happens. But now it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start for everyone. He's been given the vote of confidence, keeping the captaincy, which I'm pleased they've done that, actually, because that would have been awful for his confidence, I feel, if they took the captaincy off him as well. But I agree with him. Maybe it will be Varane missing out unless they change altogether and go to a free, which I don't know. I also saw Eric Bailly in one of the pre-season games, and he looked fantastic, by the way. Okay. But I think he only played 4 Premier League games last season. He has to stay fit. If he stays fit, that's like a new signing, because he's a fantastic centre-half, but he just cannot keep his fitness.
It's going to be interesting. If Maguire doesn't play, and it's not inconceivable he might be left out. Yeah. So what happens to him then? And I feel that Gareth Southgate will stick with him, because it's just one of those situations where even if you're not getting game time, we're not exactly blessed with loads of centre-halves, and he has relative successful experience with England in tournaments. So can you ignore that tournament experience that he brings? Probably not.
No, I think he'll definitely go with England. He'll be a starter for sure. Probably the first name on the team sheet for Gareth Southgate.
Even if he's not playing for Manchester United, do you think that's the case?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I just look at, Eric Dyer for Tottenham, I've said he should have been in the last England squad. He was playing probably the best English centre-half towards the back end of last season. Didn't get a look in. Obviously, Harry Maguire had a poor end to the season. He was straight in. I think he's very loyal to the players that have done well for him, Gareth Southgate, in the tournaments in particularly. And like you said, experience, you need experience going into these big tournaments. And perhaps this is the last one of this squad to be together like this. So I don't see any reason, apart from injury, why he won't be in the squad and in the first 11.
I'm going to highlight a few more new signings that have been made and haven't been talked about when we've had transfer roundups. And when I say new signings, you'll understand what I mean. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, possibly even Anthony Martial, who scored pre-season against Liverpool. Now, what I mean by this is that, and I don't know if it's pure coincidence or what, it could be post-Euros with Sancho and Rashford, or I think possibly it could be, the aura of Ronaldo being there, making them shrink, possibly. I don't know. I may be being harsh there, but something has happened to make it harder for these players to flourish. I think with Sancho, it was Ronaldo's presence, because Sancho was signed as the main man. All of a sudden, Ronaldo appears out of nowhere, and Sancho's thinking, hang on, what about me? So I can understand why that might have affected him. With Rashford, I have no idea. But what we do know is both of those players are excellent, and they've got talent within them that they didn't really show on a consistent basis last season. Rashford didn't show it at all, I don't think. So Rashford has come out and said, it's an opportunity to refresh. I'm ready to go again. We can do a lot together. For me, it's a fresh start, something I am looking forward to. Now, I can't wait for Marcus Rashford to get back to where he was and progress on even further. So I'm hoping that with Erik ten Hag's record with younger players at Ajax, that he will be able to get the best out of Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho in particular. And from an England point of view, that will help as well. But that will help Manchester United. If he makes those players better, and with the new players he's bringing in, and with his ideas that have already brought winning a formula to Ajax, Manchester United should be much more of a force next season. And if he doesn't get the best out of Rashford and Sancho, if the new signings don't really work, then he's another Man United manager that will fall by the wayside, isn't he? But I can't help thinking Man United are going to be a whole lot better, significantly better than last season. Yeah,
it's only Anthony Martial who is questionable for me out of those three. I think the other two, Rashford and Sancho, I think Rashford's 24, Sancho's 22, I believe. They're still young. Sancho kind of got a little bit lucky last season when he come in for a lot of money. The massive pressure on him to change what was a poor end of the season prior to that. Then Ronaldo come in. So it took a little bit of pressure off him. So that he should have probably performed a little bit better than he did, because he had no pressure anymore. But now it's the season that this is the second season for him. He needs to produce more of what we know he can produce. And Rashford, there's an incredible player in Rashford. There really is. For some reason, he's gone off the boil, whether it's confidence, whether it's other stuff that's going on off the pitch that people know about. We don't know, but new manager, fresh start. I've been in the changing rooms where I've been playing poorly. Manager comes in, previous is forgotten immediately, and it's what you can show the manager, whether you want to be there, whether you're working hard for him, whether you're working hard for the team. Those two players there, Sancho and Rashford, if they can come back to any kind of form we know they are, that is going to be like two new signings, and it will only boost Manchester United's forward play. Martial is the only questionable one. But if I'm Martial as well, I want to go and prove that, no, I'm still good enough to play for a top side like Manchester United. And there's opportunities there where players have left, or they played poorly even when Martial went. Can he come back and get into the team? It remains to be seen. But like you said, the other two, exciting if they can get any form.
Clean slate for somebody like Martial, isn't it? And actually, I've heard people say it's going to take about 4 or 5 windows. It's going to take 150 million quid or whatever, and they need to get 10 out and 10 in. I don't buy into that. I look at a player like McTominay, maybe more so Fred, who's a regular with Brazil, gets in ahead of Fabinho most of the time, and you're thinking, well, maybe they just haven't been used right. Maybe they're just not managed well enough, motivated well enough, and this is the opportunity for those players to say, no, hang on, I am good enough for Manchester United. So I think it's going to be a fascinating season as far as they're concerned.